Hello everyone and welcome back to part 2 of Floyd Mayweather Jr. versus Genero Hernandez. We are picking up in round 5. I believe this fight went 8 rounds or got stopped after the 8 rounds. So stopped at 4 and now we're picking up. I talked a lot about both guys' kind of game plans, their fighting styles. And I said the reason I was actually doing a study on this fight was because I saw that Hernandez showed a lot of veteran experience in this fight. Now, in the first 4 rounds, Floyd was landing a lot, but he picks it up a little bit more towards the end, and then I think Rudy Hernandez, Genero's older brother, he calls off the fight. That was a nice shot right there. And right here, we talked about how Hernandez's only chance to catch Floyd was to punch with Floyd, basically, or right after Floyd punched. Here, Floyd almost got out of it, but I like this right hand from Hernandez, how he drops it as Floyd goes to the body with the jab. Boom. Now, maybe he knocked off Floyd off balance a little bit because Floyd steps out. But usually when Floyd steps out, he doesn't just take one step back. He kind of really jumps back out of range. But here, he kind of just leans away and then gets caught at the end of the punch from Hernandez. So a lot of people always say, oh, this fight's one-sided or whatever. It was one-sided, but like I said many times, Hernandez showed a lot of great stuff that we could learn from, especially when dealing with a fighter as quick and as smart and as everything as Floyd. You could learn a lot from Hernandez. He's kind of trying to bring Floyd towards him, basically. That was a really nice uppercut from Floyd, though. So Hernandez here, he's trying to kind of step back and reel Floyd in, try to bring him in. Now Floyd kind of takes his time, changing levels. Touches him with the jab a couple times, and a beautiful right uppercut right there. And again, if you watched my uppercut boxing lesson, you know what I said about the uppercut. You don't want to throw it close to you. You want to give it to your opponent, and Floyd does a great job of that. And that's how you really get your uppercut to land. You don't want to throw it too close, especially from this range. You're still not shoulder to shoulder or toe to toe. I mean, you are toe to toe, but there's still a closer range on the inside than this. So you don't want to throw the uppercut that goes up, like up against your chest. You want to throw it forward against or towards your opponent's chin. That was a beautiful uppercut. That was a nice body shot by Floyd right there. Hernandez thought he thought Floyd was going to go to the head right here with another uppercut. And Floyd found an opening to the body. Nice right hands by Floyd right there. Nice right hand jab by Hernandez. Nice jab again. So Hernandez is trying to reel Floyd in and catch him with a big shot as Floyd is throwing his own shots. But Floyd is too smart. He's not just swarming. He's in and out. Even though he's not moving his feet a lot, he's leaning in, throwing a punch, and then getting back out, leaning back out. Not giving Hernandez the time to kind of really time a big punch. Nice step back hook from Floyd. Nice right hand. We talked about the right hand in part 1. The lead right hand. Boom. And let's see if Hernandez got away from that. He caught the end of it, I think. Now watch Floyd's back leg right here. If you watch his back foot, you'll always know when he's about to throw a lead right hand, how he picks up his heel, goes on his toes, so he kind of springs off of it. I talked about this a lot in part 1, so I won't spend too much time. And then he comes back with the right hand. Nice defense by Hernandez. Nice jab. Now Floyd got called out by the ref for holding Hernandez a bunch of times, but I don't think he got any points taken off. Nice hook by Floyd. Floyd got the better of that exchange. Nice jab by Hernandez. Now, I don't know why this fight was stopped in the 8th round. I know why, because Hernandez was taking a beating. But I wish they went 12 rounds. Because I'll show you guys why I say I wish they went 12 rounds. Not because I want to see him take a beating, but... So he landed 17 punches. Floyd landed 30. 44 to 55%. Nice jab to the body by Hernandez. Nice double hook by Floyd. He does this a few more times in the fight. Boom. So I've said this on Instagram a while back. I said, if you want to know how to fight someone, watch how they fight someone when they do their same moves, basically. That sounds weird, but let me just explain. So basically, Floyd is the king of the body jab. He's the guy that if you want to learn how to jab to the body, you study him, because that was one of his top punches, basically. Now, let's see how he counters a jab to the body that's being thrown at him, basically. Okay, so let's see what Floyd thinks the best counter to a body jab is. Sorry guys, I'm stuttering today, as always. Boom, bang, double left hook. Now it's not really a left hook per se, it's kind of a hook. Actually, it is a hook. I thought it was more of like a left uppercut, like a 45-degree. The second one maybe. Kinda, yeah, it was like more of a 45-degree. So like I said, if someone's really good at something, or they do something a lot and they've perfected it, as Floyd has with the jab to the body, when we see someone throw a jab to the body against him, we want to study how he reacts to that jab to the body. Does he counter it? If so, what kind of counter does he use? And you're basically getting an idea for what to counter someone that throws a jab to your body. Because with Floyd, he understands the jab to the body so much, and if he knows it so much, then he of course knows the best counters to it. So we're trying to steal this from him. We're trying to see what counter he throws. So Hernandez goes with a jab to the body. Boom, right there. Now Floyd's going to go with a quick hook. Now he has a little bit more time, and he's going to come back with that like 45-degree half uppercut, half hook type thing, and catches Hernandez on the chin. So yeah, if you see a fighter that does something very well, study how they react to that thing, if it's being done to them, and then you'll get a good idea of, or you'll learn something new of how to do it. With the jab to the body, I found that by studying a lot of fights, I found that the left uppercut, or the lead uppercut counter to the jab to the body, is one of the best. Just from watching fights and watching guys try to counter it, I think that's one of the best counters. Now that was a nice jab to the body, and then jab upstairs by Hernandez. Boom, right there. Nice defense. He got caught, but he moved out of the right hand, or the left hook, I believe. Nice jab by Hernandez. You could see why Floyd isn't just jumping in and getting his way with Hernandez. So people always say, oh, or like if they watch a fight and it's very one-sided, or the fight was stopped, or a knockout, they kind of dismiss the fight. They don't try to learn from it. I try to learn from everything. You can learn from a 30-second KO. You could learn from a 15-round fight. You can learn from a domination. You can learn from a back and forth. You can learn from every type of fight. So just because someone lost doesn't mean that you could just write off the fight and not learn from it. So we see Floyd here throws his jab, and Hernandez comes back with his. So Hernandez did a lot of good things. That's, like I said for the millionth time, that's why I wanted to study this fight, to show you guys that even though he lost, he still did a lot of good things, and you could learn from it. I see Floyd waiting a lot here, even though he's pressing, but he's still taking his time. Let's see this again. Now this is a really good jab placement to throw against a guy like Floyd who uses the Philly shell, or the shoulder roll. Is you're jabbing kind of, let's see where this one lands. I would say like right here on the inside of his shoulder or right on his chest. Let's see where this one lands. Kind of lands on the bicep, in between the shoulder, chest, and bicep. And that's a really good shot to throw. I wouldn't throw it constantly, because if he figures that Hernandez is doing that constantly, he could come back with something like a right hand over the top. He could just twist his left shoulder back and throw a right hand at the same time, and he'd really catch Hernandez with that. So this is something that I would do so often, because like say here, instead of Floyd leaning back and the jab connecting, imagine if Floyd twisted his body, pulled his shoulder back, and twisted his right shoulder forward and threw a right hand. Hernandez was kind of leaning into that one, so it is dangerous. You don't want to do it too many times, basically. You want to do it every now and then, but it's a good punch to use. But against a smart fighter, you never want to do something too often. Now, we said that Floyd countered Hernandez's body jab with a left hook and kind of a 45-degree punch. Now Hernandez does the same thing. He throws like a 45-degree. And like I've said, I've watched plenty of fights where people throw jabs to the body. I think that's one of the best counters to the jab to the body, is the left uppercut / hook, because they're kind of leaning in that way too. A right hand you could kind of miss, especially if they move their head while they jab the body. So a left 45-degree hook / uppercut works very well against that punch. Nice feint. No, we saw a lot of feint. No, as soon as I said we saw a lot of feinting. We saw a lot of feinting by Hernandez in the beginning. Now Floyd feints him back. Hernandez had a lot of good feints in this fight, especially the earlier rounds. He used two just about 15 seconds ago. Now, something that's very underrated about Hernandez is his footwork. I think it's pretty close to Willie Pep. If you watch his fighters when he was younger, he had really good footwork. He hasn't used it as much in this fight. It's not the flashy type of footwork, but it's very good footwork. I forgot who he fought. I watched him versus other fighters when he was younger, and he moved very well left and right, in and out. In this fight, he's kind of sitting on the ropes a lot. He knows he can't outmove or move with Floyd. He has to bring Floyd towards him. And that's a good tactic. Like I said, you can't really chase a guy like Floyd down. He's just going to move out the way, especially if he's in the middle of the ring. So bringing him to you is kind of Hernandez's only hope in this fight, basically. But you can see Floyd, he's not in and out. See? 2 shots and then he's out. He's not going to throw 10 shots at a time, because he knows Hernandez is going to counter with something. Look at that. Angel Manfredi, Robert Garcia, used to be Roberto, Genero Hernandez. I would have liked to see a fight with Garcia and Floyd. I think Floyd would have still won, but it would have been a good fight, especially now that Robert has been a coach too. It would have been pretty cool. Nice uppercut by Floyd right there. Now, if you watch my fight study with Julio Cesar Chavez and Roger Mayweather too, you saw Roger do the same thing, throw the hook, grab the back of the head, and pull him into a right uppercut. I'm not sure if the uppercut landed clean, but nice uppercut right there. I think that was a low blow by Hernandez. He might have got his head pulled down though. I don't think he's not a dirty fighter. Hernandez reminds me a lot of Alexis Arguello. I don't know why, they just look like two nice guys that decided to start boxing. Like very classy individuals. Their body type kind of resembles each other too. Thin and tall. Nice right hand right there. Let's see this one. So like I said, Floyd sometimes, or I didn't say this actually, Floyd sometimes he throws a lot of arm punches without really putting weight behind them because he wants to move out so quick. So here he's throwing his arm punches, and Hernandez kind of just gets in, slips that, and then as Floyd is about to throw the right hand, or I guess he does throw it, Hernandez throws his own and catches him with a good right hand, misses with that left. But like I keep saying, he did a lot of good things in this fight. Now Hernandez is starting to come forward. He's trying to put the pressure. Nice body shot right there with the right hand. Nice uppercut by Floyd. I guess he might have thought that Floyd is starting to tire out by this point. I'm not sure. But as you saw at first, he was letting Floyd come to him. Now he's putting in the work and trying to get Floyd to back up. Floyd's trying to hold. Nice body shot by Floyd. Hernandez is working. He's not trying to be held, so he's trying to fight out of that. Nice left hook by Floyd. Nice uppercut. Nice uppercut right hand. Ooh, nice combination. So of course nice uppercut. Watching this fight and where I could stop and do in slow-mo, you could really see what Hernandez is doing, but if you're watching this as a fan or just on regular speed, it just looked like Floyd's dominating him. Nice uppercut. Boom, nice right hand. Beautiful work by Floyd. This is one of the only times in the fight where he stands his ground and actually exchanges with Hernandez. Nice right hand by Floyd. Nice jab. Like at this point, they're starting to really fight right here. I would have loved to see this fight go on. I wish Hernandez was a little bit younger. But of course, like he was getting outlanded and everything, but he was still giving Floyd a little bit of a tough time. I would have loved to see this fight go 12 rounds to see how Floyd would have handled if Hernandez kept putting on that pressure after the 7th round. Like right now, he's just bullying his way through. See, this is the part I was talking about. I want to show you guys what I was waiting for. Now Hernandez is on the ropes. Floyd is kind of now staying in front of him a little bit longer, but Hernandez is still doing pretty good even though he's eating punches. So let's watch this. I guess in my memory that squabble right there against the ropes lasted longer than I thought, or maybe there's a part 2 of it. I see how Floyd is just kind of pecking at him. Nice. See, this is what I was talking about. Yeah, this is still part of the nice jab. So he's not getting dominated on the ropes per se. See, this is what I was talking about. I don't know why they stopped the fight after this round when he was doing actually better than the other rounds. Nice left hook to the body from Hernandez. Blocking a lot of shots and getting his counters in. Nice feint by Floyd right there. Let's see that again. Let's watch this one more time. Is he going to come over with the right hand, or is he trying to fake Hernandez into moving to his right so Floyd could come back with the left hook maybe? I'm not sure. A beautiful feint. It's going to be my next boxing lesson for Monday. This coming Monday is going to be feinting. Nice right hand by Floyd. I'm not sure why I was gonna say why the ref's letting Floyd put his glove on Hernandez's head like that. Usually you get called out for that, but sometimes you don't. Especially if you don't do it for that long. Some fighters do it for a long time where it's noticeable. See how Floyd, this is how you hide kind of, not illegal stuff in boxing, but you kind of work around the rules. So doing this isn't allowed if you hold it, if you doing this isn't allowed, period. But if you do this for a split second and then start jabbing again, it's hard to call that by the ref. Some fighters, they just keep their hand out, and that's very easy for the ref to see and for everybody else to see. So when you are doing something that you're not supposed to do, you got to do it for a quick second and then play it off with a jab or something, especially if it's holding out the lead hand. But some guys just hold up the lead hand for a long time and then they come and then the ref calls them out for it. So you got to know how to be tricky. Nice, Steve. Ooh. So this fight, I don't know, like the last round, it's hard to say. Like, of course, Hernandez, he might have been knocked out later in the fight. Maybe that's why his brother stopped the fight. He didn't want his brother to get knocked out. Or he's just taking too much damage already. But I really like this fight because you could really see what Hernandez did in this fight. The strategy I explained, how he fought a guy like Floyd. He just walks over there to congratulate him. Like I said, Floyd looked out for him, or looked up to him. He paid for his funeral when Hernandez died, so he had a lot of respect for him. Now, this is the only fight. This is why this fight is also very important to me. Because if you watch Floyd throughout his career, after a win or whatever, he never shows emotions. Or even during interviews, he always gives the same answers, and he's always very, you know. But this fight, his first championship belt, the way he cries and he says, "I did it," like here, that just shows you how much, like, not only did this mean to him, but just how much, like, I don't know, how much hard work he put in, where he came from, all that stuff. And to finally actually do it, I did it. I did it. So he's saying I did it. I think that's his grandma there. Not her, but I think that might be his cousin or sister. But you'll never see him show any emotion in his other fights the way he did this one. And that's just something that, I don't know, really touches me. Every fighter ever wanted to have this moment after when you win your first belt, and you actually finally did it. This is the best representation that I finally did it that I've seen in any fight. And yeah, that's his Uncle Jeff. Thank you guys for watching. Someone asked me to do Sugar Ray Leonard versus Marvin Hagler. Now, I gotta see, because a lot of these fights I do, especially this fight's old, and I still get copyrighted for it. So I gotta find fights that maybe are older, that aren't copyrighted, or not such big fights where they're copyrighted on YouTube. So I'll see about that fight. I'll try to make it my next film study, Sugar Ray Leonard versus Marvin Hagler. I got a lot of things to say about that one. And yeah, I appreciate you guys for watching. This Monday's video is dropping on Monday, of course. Today is Friday. No, today's Thursday. This video is coming out Friday, tomorrow, and then the following Monday, I'll have the fainting video posted. I appreciate you guys for all the support and all the comments and likes that you guys are showing. Thank you so much for that. If you're still listening, thank you so much, and have a great day.